couldn't even ask him to stop without him crying.
He was just going, and he was just like...
Yeah, I asked him.
It was 6 minutes in the recording, too.
Yeah, it was.
It was early on.
He didn't make the cut.
It's all right. It's all right. He will.
Even MJ got cut from his high school basketball team.
Yeah,
There you go.
Turned into a goat. So, you know.
On the mic.
Oh man. So welcome back everybody to another episode of It's On Us. I know that was kind of like a weird intro, but we just got caught up in a side conversation, and somebody had to press the record button, which how I described. But anyways, welcome back to another episode. From my left to my right, I got the one and only Ash.
Peace and love.
Then I got that guy John.
What's up?
And then I got the one and only
I have missed all of you, and I'm happy to be back.
Cliff. I didn't have to
Welcome
finish
back.
it.
Welcome back.
Well, yeah. So
I ain't never left, but I've been away for a little.
So how was everybody week this week?
It's been good. We didn't record last week because we had the 2-part episode.
Right, 2-part episode.
And
Fraser.
Yeah, I kind of missed you guys.
Yeah,
A
man.
little bit. Thankful for you.
Definitely. Yeah,
Right.
a lot's been going on, actually. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So I didn't get paid this Friday.
What?
Because
Oh.
I'm not going to blame it on a certain person in the company, but they forgot to submit payroll. So a lot of people are like on edge because they're like, it's the first of the month. Things got to be paid, and they're like, yo, what am I supposed to do? But luckily I'm blessed enough to be financially like stable, but still like that kind of like humbles you in a way. It's like, if you don't have this job, where's your safety net?
I've had that happen before.
So it's kind of like, don't lean too much or put your eggs in this one basket, because if that's taken away from you, what else do you have around you?
Exactly.
Got to be prepared.
Yeah, so
Yeah, a little preparedness. Oof.
So we get paid Tuesday, but still it's kind of like, man,
It's still an inconvenience
Yeah.
that you weren't expecting. So now you got to make an audible back. Hold up, let's make sure we do this one this day. Pay this bill maybe this day. Let's make it work.
right. So as an employee, how do you respond to that?
I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't malicious, it was a mistake. Forgot. There's an issue with the computer system. There could be things that happen out of the control of the person that's in charge of it. But
Of course, the person that's in payroll has all these other excuses.
I'm just saying.
You were in payroll, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you walk me through like how does that happen though? Like
So it's sort of so where I work at, every department has their own payroll clerk, and the person that handles payroll, and basically it's like you think of it as a step system. So they create the payroll as far as you worked 80 hours, you worked 85 hours, you worked 80 hours, but you had vacation you used for some. So they enter all that fine details in, and it goes to the department head. So it goes boop up here. Department head says, "Yep, you were here 80 hours, you were here 85," and so on. Boop, sends it up to the appointing authority, which would be the boss of the bosses,
right.
And then it goes to payroll afterwards after they approve. And it creates a bank file. It's basically like if you like the notepad, you're like, oh, the notepad's like worthless. It's not Microsoft Word. It's unformatted. But actually, they use that to send to the banks. It's almost like a raw piece of data.
Okay.
And it's encrypted and it gets sent through and it's uploaded to the thing. It says to pay you $50,000. It says pay you 55 because you worked a little overtime. It's
Okay.
so on and so forth, and that's it. It's really instant as far as like once you post it on their website.
And then it takes 48 hours to process. If you submit it on Tuesday, then by Thursday.
We even do as late as Wednesday. We put it there Wednesday, and we post it in our internal system on Thursday, so people can start seeing it in their portal. But if your banks are connected or however that works, you can see it early, and you can post it early. Even I've never done that.
Because do you guys use ADP?
No.
Okay, so we do. So it's like a different
I
system.
used
Like
to.
it'll post in your like ADP account. Like
Yes.
it's pending, but the actual money's not there yet.
Right.
So,
So there's like a 4 or 5 step system. It sounds like, and it almost sounds like, because I study crypto, like a physical blockchain. Like all you guys are doing are like breadcrumbs, and it leads to something, and then you can all trace it back.
Exactly, and that's
backwards
what
and forward.
my job as an auditor. It kind of trickles back to why do we pay Cliff 85 hours? Can you verify that he was there? When was he there? It gets down to those fine details sometimes. So I'm sorry that you get paid, man.
I mean, I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
Life is good, but still, like the inconvenience, right? And the understanding of that is like, okay, Now you know. So next time, all that like it's the transparency that I like. So it's like, tell me why this happened, walk me through it, and now I know, so it doesn't happen again.
Right.
Maybe even they say like, here's a $25 gift card for the
so
inconvenience, or
he's gonna tip everybody like $100 the next pay. So it's like, okay, still inconvenience, but understood.
Right. Missing breadcrumbs is what we call that.
Right. But like, I like how you say being financially aware, and then you mentioned the word job, because it kind of segues into what our topic is this week: side hustles. You know, a way to make some extra money other than your job. We are picked one that we're going to talk about. We'll get into that in a second, but I just want to say you've been doing a side hustle for a minute now. Yeah.
So a couple years.
Yeah. Can you kind of explain how you got started and so on and so forth?
Yeah. So I, resell anything that I can get my hands on, really. Not like cars or houses, but I'll resell items that are potentially worth something to someone. That could be, going to Goodwill, going to garage sales. Those are my two big things. Maybe I never offered it, but like friends and family, like, hey, you sell online. Can you sell my fucking couch or something? I'm like, I don't want to, but I could try. Or someone said like one time they wanted me to sell their tires. I'm like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
you could, but do you really want to sell tires?
Yeah,
that it's still, you have to do like a weird fee, like, because they're gonna want some kickback for it. Because
and most of the time when that happens, I tell people just take I'll give you whatever's left, and if you want to give me anything, that's up to you. I kind of try to be nice about that. But using eBay as my main source of like listing, I started with selling bobbleheads. Actually, it was weird. I don't know, like I felt like there was like a weird niche with people that wanted bobbleheads, and I'd go to like the flea market and I'd find them for like $1. I'm like, someone wanted that online. They were like searching for this one.
Right.
Ended up selling it for like $75 or something. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And so it kind of spiraled. My dad, he had all these bobbleheads at his house. He's like, you could just have them. I'm like, okay. So
right, let me make some money real quick.
So literally he saw me do this, and he saw me like taking home bringing home actual money to him, because I don't want to, again, it's his stuff. And no, just kind of being aware of what people want. I don't know. It's hard. It's weird to say because you don't know what people want.
It's a people science.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I've sold anything from like, I don't know, dishes to video games, and I haven't really sold sports cards, but I've bought sports cards. I haven't sold them yet because those are kind of a hot commodity right now.
Sold some.
Yeah.
See, but one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Right.
Like legit. That's where thrifting. That's why I like to thrift, because like you can find so much stuff.
Thrift shopping.
Yeah.
What?
I actually started going thrifting with this guy out in who was in Avon, the Goodwill in Avon. I'm like, okay. First time I ever going, I walked in there, a lot of like stuff you can like refurbish and resell.
And there's things that you may see. So you may have went towards the clothes and been like, oh, this is worth something more than the single stitch, double stitch. There's lingo like that for clothing. I have no idea. So it's everybody has their niches of what they enjoy. So I kind of like that, where I can focus in on things I like to resell. I don't want to sell tires, so I'd rather sell small things that I can ship in small boxes and not pay crazy amounts of shipping for. And
Right. Shipping getting expensive.
it really is. This last 2 years now with all the fuel surcharges and but no, I mean, good side hustle. Took very little to get started, and even with my dad's stuff, and I started doing my own thing. And I'm like, well, let me like set up a separate bank account, and let me set up things that I can like divvy my attention just to, okay, I have this much in there, and now how much can I flip or use and not touch my own money?
Right.
It was kind of important for me.
That's awesome.
I don't know. So just
and then your other side hustle you and Cliff had running in high school.
Dude, it's kind of like a continuation.
Y'all was making moves.
Ahead of the curve, man.
Ahead of the curve.
Well, what were we? What do you think? We weren't like a pawn shop, but we were like a cell phone hub.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how he branched off into that. I mean, we just saw cell phones online one time. I had some money, he had some money, and we decided to flip it. We liked doing it. Kept going for a while, up until we graduated, like towards college. I think we split the pie and went our separate ways. And I've only touched reselling a couple times since we not been partners. I sold something for some guy at Alco, like a bunch of shit because his parents died, so I sold some shit out of his house. I made amount of money on eBay and shit. I need to get back into it because reselling is fun, and like he said, it's a people science. You know what I mean? You just have to have an eye for shit and be able to say, like, for instance, like that. There's a lot of people who will want that candle, honestly, just because they really mess with him and they follow him like that image. Let's just put it that way. I'm not gonna say his name or anything.
Right.
I was about to say it too, but
If you see something off the table,
yeah.
And you're a normal fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But so yeah, I mean, resale's fun.
yeah, resale's fun. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk, he's on Facebook and
Right,
stuff.
Shout out
He's
to Gary V.
yeah,
Gary
motivational speaker. He's like, this is easy. If you need money, this is the way to like flip.
My thing is, from Gary V to even Elijah and every person on here who's had an hustle, all of them share one common thing. They stopped kind of what they were doing, knew what they wanted to do, and they just honed in on it.
Like
you know what
tunnel
I mean?
vision type of deal.
Like, you know, ain't nothing stopping me. Like Cody, again, because you said last episode, great example, knew he wanted to be a Cavs dancer.
So he just had to do what he did as stepping stones to get where he needed to be at.
Like he treated jobs like stepping stones. They didn't use him as a stepping stone. He was using them because he had a dream he was going to obtain someday. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out to you, Cody. I got you. And so yeah, everybody else, if you can hone in on that advice, if you're sick of your life or you just want to do something different, even a side hustle, you got to kind of take that leap of faith and understand you're going to be failing at first, but failures are lessons, and eventually it'll pick up steam.
So with that being said, each of us chose a topic to research on as a side hustle. Cliff, I would like to start with you first, if you don't mind, just because of the fact of you said counseling, and as you did research, you find out like that's more of like a career.
Yeah,
But like a venture capitalist, I think is
Consulting.
I mean, I want to do that too someday. Like once, obviously, I have the capital,
Right,
and
right.
shit like that. Because I mean, I'm always interested in business and helping things grow and shit like that. So consulting, I looked into it like 3 years ago, but I came to the same result after circling the block again. It is mainly a career over a side hustle. And let me prefix this whole information shit with saying this. In order to be a self-consultant, you need a name, a master's degree more than likely. And when I say a name, I mean popularity. People have to know you, like word of mouth, like, okay, he's winning the X, Y, Z, and definitely made him better.
Your name holds value.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I need to bring him in and have him look at my stuff and reevaluate and see if I can grow as well through him or her. I don't want to just keep it to one single sex. But anyway, so in order to be a consultant, like, again, you need a bachelor's or master's degree in order to get to a top firm. It's a great living. You'll make a lot of money and shit like that. The top 3 consulting firms are like Bain & Company, McKinsey & Company, Boston Consulting Company. All of these share one similar trait. They're all over 50 years old. And they all have 50 plus offices globally and stuff like that, and they're in the $1 billion range and shit like that. And let me bring out my screenshot real quick. I don't know why my voice got deeper when I whispered.
You're good. Actually, you mentioned
get it in my pocket.
So you mentioned the whole like consulting thing and having like a degree. Like I'm about to get my master's in a couple of weeks, and I actually just this morning I thought I was telling my girlfriend's parents, and I was like something like a moonshot thing for me. I thought about it a while back, and I was like, what if I like was able to travel to different cities and like different governments and different local governments and kind of go in there and kind of consult them on like, where are you missing the mark with your citizens? Are you not communicating things correctly? I can like maybe like a third party like look back and like look at your whole thing.
And that's a consult.
Yeah. I was like, I'd love to do that and like
pretty dope.
Yeah, like travel and like see different cities and see how they do things and why are they doing it that way? Could they improve anything?
So I know if I were you, I would just drive because you and airplanes like they don't mesh.
No, we're good.
I was kind of but man, my second experience, I thought it was over, bro.
Yeah.
It was over. Just side story, yeah. Like when we actually landed to Vegas, we were like kind of floating over the desert, and I was kind of like weary about that because the first flight, cool, landed fine. So I was like confident with the second flight. But like I said, he was roaming over the desert, and as he was coming down, shit was getting shaky. And then when he landed way too fast. All of us like shot forward in the plane at one point. I was like, oh God, please don't let this be.
Well, my
Hey,
question for you
was that
is,
Spirit?
I said, who did you fly to?
Hey, I like Spirit.
You about to become one.
They wasn't bad, but man.
Yeah, no.
So what do you got the screenshot over there?
Just when you go into consulting or any career, you got to think about these things. It's funny that John mentioned traveling. With all consulting firms, you'll be traveling because you are going all over the world, consulting small, big, medium businesses, trying to help them be better. But this is universal advice to me. You got to think about the prestige of the job, work balance or work-life balance, employee satisfaction, culture, diversity, and career growth. And what I mean by those things, or like the bullet point said, what prestige, how much influence does consulting or the job carry in any industry that you're in? You know what I mean? You don't want to go into a certain career field and a business doesn't have like a good foundation or reputation, because 9 times out of 10 your job's going to be crap. Let's just be real.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to be above the creme de la creme and get good money. Work-life balance, you have to look at the perks, benefits of any job, and hopefully they benefit you more than they benefit themselves, because that means you're in a good spot. Employee satisfaction, think about the morale. You have, long story short, are employees there more excited to stay on board and help the company, or ready to jump ship? You got to look at the motivation of the employees. Don't look at the bosses on that one. Culture speaks for itself. Is it healthy or toxic? Diversity, I think that also speaks for itself. You know what I mean? You want to be able to see multiple races and sexualities, whatever, be able to flourish throughout the company, bring their ideas, and have a healthy environment, and everybody respond off of everybody transparently and happy. And career growth. What's the ceiling? You don't want to go into a business knowing that you may retire only making 20-21 an hour, being a sales manager, or just something small. If you have bigger aspirations, you got to look at again, career growth in every field you go to. So that's what I wrapped up from going into my side hustle. You know what I mean? And again, in order to be a consultant, it's not unobtainable, but you're gonna have to go sit down and get a piece of paper, and it ain't nothing wrong with getting an education. It's only gonna benefit yourself.
And a little bit of a education and experience mix to create, like, what you're doing based on what you've learned and what you've also had hands-on experience with.
Because in order to get into a top firm, they prefer experience. So even with a master's degree, you may have to go work 1 or 2 years at a smaller medium guy, show that you've had a high success rate of turning businesses around, and then you'll get picked up by one of those big boys, and after that you're looking at 6 figures and a lot of travel. So if you like traveling, consulting is the place for you.
I might have to pick that up, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I love traveling and kind of like consulting and helping people. So I mean, that might coexist, but that is a good side hustle for anyone out there that may be for you.
I wouldn't recommend kids, because from all the research I did, again, you'll be going into a lot of businesses, you'll be looking at a lot of numbers, doing reports, and kids need a lot of attention. And I don't know if you can give your kid attention when you're always in Chicago, New York, Florida, or wherever you're going to be.
Okay.
Just saying, being honest.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So actually, what I ended up looking into was freelancing, and freelancing more so online. And you mentioned like having kids and being kind of, if you do, this might be something for you, because freelancing is you kind of create your own schedule. You're very you can basically do whatever you want. There's the types of, Jake, can you scroll up for a minute? You're scrolling on my stuff. He's reading it.
Oh, you got the big screen. I got to save a lot.
Back of a receipt.
Save a lot.
My M&M shit.
But no, the one I looked up into was online freelance work, and this could be anything that you're good at, whatever you feel. Like we had Eric Woodfield on, like that. They mentioned like music. If you create beats, you can put your beats out there, and you can do consulting a little bit. You can do proofreading and resume building. So many other things. Virtual assistant, translation and audio transcriptions, which I also found videos on it's like super easy-ish to do. Like you can kind of speak and it'll write for you. There's like software that does that now. But there's a couple different websites that I looked into a little bit. Fiverr was the big one, and their whole thing was, what can you have someone do for you for $5? And now the scale has went way up. I mean, it started at $5, and now people have said, well, I'm worth more than that, so I'm going to charge more. And they kind of, it's Fiverr still, but it's 5 is the lowest. Yeah. Well, now that you say that, the con of this concept here, the con of this freelance online work is people have this race to the bottom mentality, meaning that everybody that's trying to vie for customers is lowering their prices and it's like I can do it for cheaper.
Oh, stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah. For example, I talked to someone in the industry that is doing this, and they said that people in third world countries are offering services for, say, let's just say, keep easy, $5 that are well above and beyond $5 worth, but their $5 USD is worth 20, 30, 40 of theirs.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Hustle.
yeah. So, and then you have someone like us, we're charging, we can charge $5 or $10, but we're going to be working our ass off, and we're going to make only $5.
Right.
It's not worth it for. So it's like this race to the bottom. What can you get done for cheapest? And that's kind of the. Now it's kind of saturated. The market's kind of saturated. So you got to have a good product. You got to have a good craft, and it's all on you. That's another
Good
con.
communication. Good turnaround.
There's a pro and con to that because it's all on you. You're responsible for your payroll. You're responsible for your taxes. You're responsible for your schedule and your workload, and who you're dealing with which is kind of a pro because you can pick and choose your customers. If you don't really want to do a consulting work for a cookware company, but you want to do consulting for an engineering company or whatever the case may be, you can do that. You say, no, I don't want that. So I guess the main thing is if you have a craft, there was social media management was another one.
That's a good one.
That you can do anything online. I mean, anything
Right.
that doesn't need someone to be present.
There.
Yeah, and that helps with kids. That helps with life. You can be flexible that way. As far as like wages, like I said, I don't really know. I don't know the wages that I seen. I mean, there was people that were charging on Fiverr like $10,000 for their service for this thing. It could be I'll work for you for X amount of months and work on this one project, and it's like almost like an independent contractor.
Right.
So when you freelance, are you paying for the time or the value of what you're doing?
Because to me, what it sounds like is you're treating yourself like a jack of all trades, with or without a trade, online or offline. And it sounds like you're also a sole proprietor business because you're dealing with everybody yourself and probably getting money up front. So, I'm sorry, Jacob. So, sole proprietor, jack of all trades, and you're in a, because you said earlier, it's kind of like a crab barrel effect industry because everybody is like pulling each other down, fighting for prices and stepping on each other's toes. So sounds like a pit bull industry.
Yeah, literally. And there's a lot of websites out there for it. I actually just today I saw something. It was on Twitter, and it was someone that was in contact with Fortnite to draw them a picture, draw some sort of advertisement for them.
Okay.
And they said the person was not happy. They were like, this $6 billion revenue earning company, they earned like $6 billion last year or something, or this year so far, or one of the two. They offered her like $3,000 to do it, and she's like, I'm not doing this. She like wrote this email like, no, if you want to revise your offer, I'll,
Okay.
like you're a $6 billion company, and they wanted her to give up her copyright for the picture. They're like, they would assume the rights to it.
They're going to make
Because they know what they're doing. Yeah, they know what you're doing.
So she declined. I'm like, good for you. So that's the kind of thing you can do. No, not for me. Not.
Man, that side hustle sound like it's full of pools of piranhas and sharks. Good luck, freelancers. I'm pulling for all of you.
Okay. So, Jacob, your side hustle, can you kind of like go into that also?
So my side hustle is a side hustle I've actually did, furniture flipping. It was short-lived because of the fact of I'm a person of, I like difference. If it came to an art style, I would say I like color. I like different designs. I like characteristics. I like cartoonish type of features. Like I like that. Going into furniture flipping with that type of mindset because it was something I was naive about. Like I want to make what I like. Well, if you want to make money off of it, you gotta make what other people like too.
Yeah. I was gonna say
you have to realize any side hustle, it's a service to people. You can't be servicing yourself and hope people want to pay for the things you service yourself doing. You got to service them.
And there's other side of that is like artistry. Like if someone's a painter, they're gonna paint what they feel, and if people like it, but that's a different.
You limit your market.
That's a great analogy.
True.
But like as far as cost wise, like you said, all the stuff that you mentioned, they pay for a service. For flipping furniture, you actually have to invest in yourself. You have to get, a paint gun. You know, you gotta get stains, you gotta get paint, you gotta get stuff to clean up with, you gotta get dust masks, you gotta get all these little things that you don't really think about until you start doing it.
You gotta have the right equipment. You gotta have a truck. You have equipment to move things, and you have to be kind of in shape. I mean, you have to lift. I mean, depending on what the furniture is.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
So some stuff is like, okay, just gauging what you get and then really having a clear vision and realizing you have to people please and create what the masses would like instead of what you would just like. Yeah, it's okay to dabble different stuff once in a while, but I think what I have to do when I'm done pausing with it is, you know, get more back into what fits everybody. But yes, it can be profitable because shit, I bought a shelf, 3 little tier shelf. I bought it for $5. I didn't even do anything to it. That one, I wiped it off, cleaned it up, posted it, 25, sold it that night. So like furniture itself, like you can flip real easy.
yeah,
Like,
everybody needs furniture. Everybody needs a couch to sit on,
I
a
had
place to put their
these
books.
2 nice lazy boy chairs. Cleaned them up with the furniture cleaner. I got them for free. I sold them for $65.
There you go.
So just simple stuff like that, you know. So yeah, furniture flipping can be profitable and can be very self-sustainable. There's people on YouTube that just do it, and you're like, wow. But it does take some work, especially if you like see a real like that piece of furniture that you think you can. Wow, that could be magical. Those take more work.
And to go kind of going back to the first thing we talked about with my flipping, what I do.
Right.
So you're taking it a step further. So you're getting something. So what I would do is I'm buying it and I'm flipping it. There's no you're putting your own artistic spin. So that's a whole nother creative gear you got to turn to, and also a little bit of work to it. You got to you're cleaning these things up, and yeah, you maybe even say I just cleaned it up and I made $20 extra. You still did something to it. You still put some effort into, that someone else didn't do.
Right. So, but yeah, it's very enjoyable. It's very, like I said, you can make money off of it. You can be profitable from it. You just have to have a good mindset of what you're getting yourself into. And for me, I wasn't all the way there. I would say I was about 65% there.
Do you feel like also you need kind of a space? Because I mean, with furniture, depending on what kind of furniture.
Yes. Depending on what you're trying to get and flip, like end tables and shit. No, you don't really need that much space.
So how big of a space would you say? Like a garage, maybe?
It all
like
depends what your goal is. Honestly, like let's say for example, you just want to do like couches and chairs and stuff like that. You would need an adequate space. Like this space would be good. Just have this, just because you need a carpet or fabric cleaner and just clean that up real simple.
But if you're gonna do both, you need a warehouse.
But if you're gonna do like woodworking or sanding stuff down, then a shed or a garage,
right?
Because
storage units,
or quick easy hack, if you wanted to do it in a place down here, hang up plastic. Make sure your floors are clear. Make sure you got plastic up because you don't want that dust going on top. But you can still work in the house all year round to make it an all year round hobby or side hustle instead of 6 months. So there's a lot of different avenues you can do because furniture is such a big word. It can encompass a lot of things.
And so just to cut you off for a second, so far the 3 that we've mentioned, even the fourth one, the first one, they're all side hustles that you can kind of turn on and off. Yours would be more so, like you said, it's a kind of a career, but like mine and yours, you can turn it on and off as you please. So it kind of, that's the joy of having like a side hustle. It's like I can turn it off, and I can, like you said, you're taking a pause from it. It's kind of a positive for that, for these things.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome though. Okay, well, where are we at time wise?
So time wise, we're at
2850.
2850.
Okay, so far we tackled consulting, freelancing,
furniture
flipping. And all these kind of like coexist somewhere together, right? So for my side hustle, when it's kind of like, it's a side hustle, but it can be a career path also. It is a life coach. And I'm sure, Jacob, you want to pull this up maybe? So what is a life coach? I was going to do a PowerPoint TED Talk type of deal for you guys, but I'm like, that might be too much. I don't know.
You got like a pointer and stuff?
So a life coach is basically like, okay, we live in a world where information is endless and information is constantly pushed at us on a day-to-day basis, which we all know, right? So With that being said, we live in a world where programs aren't always completed, books aren't always finished, are fully read. But what a life coach does is just a bit easier, right? It's kind of like all entangled. So a life coach provides clients with questions, observations, feedback, encouragement, support, and accountability, which we all kind of need in our lives, right?
Right.
So a life coach is also like a collaborative partner who acts like a mentor or a guide. Okay. A life coach is not a soundboard for complaining, which we know, on social media, you see it. People constantly complaining about X, Y, Z. Doesn't really matter, but it could to some people. A life coach is not a person who heals mental illness or traumas from the past.
As a psychiatrist.
Yeah, not a psychiatrist.
Okay.
These people are solution oriented with planning. All right. So basically, a life coach motivates you to dream big, create compelling visions for your life, challenge you to see your full potential, because we live in a world where okay, thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, we live in a vast pool where untapped potential happens, and we see it on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. So these people help you find meaning in life, help you stay committed, facilitate conversations. It's on this podcast. When you tap into our conversations, we're facilitating interesting, maybe topics that you may not like, but somebody else may want to dive into deeper. What's really about this? What's beyond the surface level?
Let's ask the questions that nobody else is asking.
Right.
Or the questions on top of questions.
Right. So these people basically they show you shortcuts and strategies to success. So Elijah is a good example of someone who is a life coach, kind of. He wants to become a doctor in a sense too also. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So along this, they help create change. They help develop confidence, increase motivation. So I think for what I do and who I am, this kind of suits maybe a good side hustle for me in a sense, but these people help brainstorm. Oh, go ahead.
Do you think consulting and life coaching is they run kind of parallel? Do you think in a way?
I think they could though.
I think there's similarities to it for sure. I think the base of it is the same.
Yeah, the foundation. But yours goes the more professional, where yours goes the more freelance or side hustle part of it. Mm-hmm. So yes, I do believe there are similarities to it. Mm-hmm. They're one and the same. Yeah, because consultants are just life coaches to businesses through numbers.
You're a life coach for a young entrepreneur.
Yeah,
they're the same but different. I like that. I like that compare.
Mm-hmm. They're the same.
John,
but different.
Go start for the day, bud.
Right, they're same but different. So these people also help you brainstorm, desire goals, set up action plans so you can follow through with these things. Again, sharing strategies, tools, tips, just stuff that we all can use. Recyclable things you can use.
Exactly.
Right? So people who become life coaches are I feel like they're they can help people. They're warm-hearted, good people. We all in this room, we're all good-hearted people. So we can we like to see someone else do better.
Oh, hell yeah.
We like to cheer for whoever you may be.
Always.
Right? So we help monetize. We have a mission ourselves. And we're going to monetize off the mission.
Exactly.
Right? So that's all a life coach is. He's just helping you. He has a set goal, a vision for himself. And he's going to monetize. Doesn't all have to be about money. But we just want to see the fulfillment in what someone else is doing. And that's kind of how they get their fulfillment as well. Right? So you're probably wondering how much do people make on a day-to-day basis. You kind of you can freelance it. Mm-hmm. Set up your own
pay scale.
Yeah. So in Ohio, I know 22 to 60K as a side hustle. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty fair if you ask me.
Right.
That's not bad. You don't have to have a degree to do this, but it does help. If you have a background in psychology, education, wellness, or even business, coaching, certification, accredited training programs, those do help as well. So I think in Ohio, you need between 20 to 100 hours coursework. So if you go to JVS, which is in Oberlin?
Yes.
Right. They have programs there also. that can help you
He
like
did some local research. I'm in.
aid you into this direction.
Hey.
Yeah, this is stuff that we all can use, and if you're interested, it's out there.
Right.
Right.
So-
We hear athletes talking about, what we call life coaches where we come from? OGs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple.
Same concept.
Life
Same
coaches are
concept.
just your OG. You know what I mean? They didn't been through it. They didn't see many situations and stuff like that. I mean, that's all a life coach is. It's just your OG.
Yeah.
Right. Nice. I like that. I
So-
like that.
I mean, there's been so many OGs, or there's been so many life coaches that haven't paid them. They did it for free.
They did that shit for free.
Man, shout out to y'all.
That's their contribute. That's how they contribute.
Yeah, to the
But this
community.
is something that we all do. We can get paid for it though.
And I think another added bonus of a side hustle, kind of to wrap this all up, is it helps you better yourself in the short term and long term by teaching you different things that are outside your normal. Like you reselling. That's way different than your job. You know what I mean? Life coach, consulting type of area. That's way different than what you guys do. You know what I mean? So it's just nice to see side hustles bring out a different side in people that you didn't think they would have.
Yeah, you learn more. Like I was even like YouTube and going viral and doing things online. Like those, that gets you out of your comfort zone. I think that kind of side hustles can do that.
Right.
Like you said, like we mentioned travel before. Like those things are, not only are you doing something for work and you're doing something for a side hustle, you're also being able to explore.
Yeah.
You know who's a great
Win-win.
example of a side hustle who turned into now he's doing it? Trap. I mean, he was DJing as a trap.
Shout out to Trap. Shout
Now
out
it's
to
a whole
DJ Trap.
business.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And he put the years in, man.
And that's really what it is. You have to put time behind what you like really want to do. We say like the 10,000 hours.
I was just about to say
That's just the starting line though.
Right.
There's so much more you can add beyond all that, So yeah, I think that us networking and people out there, if you want to network, that's the best way to have more open dialogue on different topics, conversations.
Right.
Because certain things, like I say something that's attractive to what you want to put in your life. So I think that's something good to have though.
Right.
You know what else is good to have? All these times, because we're recording our 10,000 hours. We ain't nowhere near it, but I can't wait till we reach it.
Oh, we're cooking. So
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys want to dive into our mental health check?
we can do that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready for it.
Let's go first.
I'll go first.
There you go.
I'm at an 8 because I feel emancipated this week. That's my word for the week.
Ooh.
I'm happy. I've released a whole lot of unnecessary stress that I didn't need. I have a very vivid picture of where I'm going, and I'm happy.
You happy? That's all that matters, babe.
But I'm at an 8 because, man, these kids are kids today. I'm going to the trampoline park,
Hey.
and I'm just hoping to come home in one piece. I can eat, roll up, and call it a night.
There you go.
Nice.
What about you, John?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm a little sore today. I don't know. I'm a little sore, but I'm all right. I think number
You know
wise.
why?
I think number wise, I'm up there, man. My degree's wrapping up. I have like basically an assignment left. One assignment.
Shout out to you, John.
Yeah. So it's coming down to it next week. So even though I graduate on the 17th, the 10th, 11th area is my last assignments due. So then it's like grading time, and so I'm basically done at that point.
Turn up.
Yeah. So feeling really good about that, and just excited for my future, and just kind of getting more serious. I'm like, okay, what is next now? Because it's right here. I thought about it 6 months ago. Oh, I'm about to graduate. Now it's like,
Man, you're making me happy. Like, I just feel the vibes.
I'm
I
about
feel
to
like
blush.
within
I'm
this
blushing
group,
for you. Like,
honestly,
yeah.
I feel like there's a huge universal paradigm shift, at least within our universe,
Yeah.
and we're all definitely about to see greener pastures. And I can't wait. I'm
absolutely,
happy for all of us.
I love it. I love that, man, because it's just everybody's doing their thing. Everybody's progressing, and
No man left behind.
man,
Yeah.
no. So I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna say 9 right now. I'm good. I feel great.
Jacob, how you feeling, man?
I'm a 8 point. I'm a 9. I'm a 9 today.
Okay.
That was a good.
No
week.
odd numbers.
All right, I was gonna throw it
A
off.
7.58, whatever. Yeah.
I'm a solid 9. It's been a good week, even though he had a bad day at school on Thursday. Everything's been pretty well. I got my drone. That's exciting. I'll show you guys after this episode.
That was a dope
actually.
picture.
Oh, thank you.
Posted.
And I even gave my dad credit. I'm like, Dad, that border for your garden looks crazy. Like,
Oh my god.
He's like, yeah, I did it. I'm like, cocky old son of a gun. But besides that, I don't know if you guys checked it out. Check out Wednesday on Netflix. Great show, dark humor.
Already
You would love
finished it.
Me too.
Wait, check out what?
Wednesday.
Oh, I
on
was
Like,
like,
check
what?
it out on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was
No,
like, what?
The show
Gotcha.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yes.
Cool.
Based
So
on
she's
the
from
Addams Family.
Addams
Yes,
Family.
yes.
Right.
Oh, cool.
Great
cool.
show, great show. But other than that, great week. 9. Where you at? The one and only Mr. Osh.
I've been.
Oscar. Should I call you Oscar or Osh?
You heard the conversation yesterday,
Oh,
I had,
that
right?
shit was
So
funny.
I don't make any type of shifts. We talked about this last episode with Elijah. Like I'm not one of those people that like shift personalities when I go into work versus being off work.
I feel that, bro.
I'm the same across the board.
Thank
so
you.
you're gonna catch this energy wherever I am, right? So I kind of said that at the beginning of the episode where the whole like we didn't get paid, so like
Right.
people are coming to me
Venting.
asking me like, how should I handle this? That's where the whole life coach kind of came in, because people constantly come to me to like kind of openly vent about this is what's going on in my life, and I carry this aura of
Welcomeness and
welcome and
trustworthiness.
That's what I was like,
warm and like
comfort.
love and like comfort, right? So constantly getting all that energy pushed at me. Sometimes I don't want it all, but it's like I'll let you like get it out. I'm listening. It's little stuff you can do, but like I'm just kind of like aiding you into a different direction. But me, I think I'm at like a 9.
Nice.
Yeah, life is good. No complaints. Extremely grateful. A lot is going on for all of us. For myself personally, like I think this is probably like the most fulfilled I've felt in a long time.
I see it.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
I've been like,
told you the other day I see it.
yeah, like it feels right. So some stuff I'm kind of upset I'm not coaching this year, but stuff happens. I know that the universe is telling me like your time is coming, but not right now. We have to fix a couple more things, but then next 2023 Jordan year, be ready for it. So
Whole year, Jordan year. Let's go.
Man, I just think source, I think universe, that, like we always say, you attract who you are, where you're going, and what you are. And I'm so happy that, because all this is not an accident. It's a design. And I'm glad that we exist in the same blueprint. And I get to watch you guys grow side by side.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Don't call me that.
You're welcome.
just gotta make it weird. Yeah.
You got a quote for us today?
Sure.
Let's give a shout out to Gabe real quick. Gabe's not here, making some money.
He's out there doing side hustles.
Literally,
get into
hustles.
it.
Making a rack.
Shout out
We
to
talking
Matthew.
about it. He out there living it. So,
Right. And shout out to our sponsor, Creative Genius Brand. You can see the hat. You can find all of our merch at creativegeniusbrand.org. Go to IOU merch.
We're gonna put
I
the
got-
tab somewhere in the video up here. I don't know. Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I absolutely love this one because I embody it. I'm not afraid of storms, for I'm learning to sail my ship. By Louisa May Alcott.
I like that one, babe.
I'm about to put that on a poster. For real, that's hard, body.
That's hard. That's hard.
Back when I used to put Osh on the poster when I didn't.
Okay, this episode is over.
Until next time, everybody. It's been an episode. It's on us.
Ciao, Rivederci.
Bye, Mom.
Merry Christmas.